and all. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk with you delegates. And with regard to agriculture, only thing I know is mushrooms. Apart from mushrooms, and that too only oyster mushrooms. And apart from oyster mushrooms, I do not know anything about other parts of agriculture. And basically, I concentrate only on oyster mushrooms. And I am doing oyster mushroom farming for the past 28 years as a passion. I have seen all ups and downs in oyster mushroom growing, and if I have succeeded in oyster mushroom growing, I won't say 100%. I am learning a lot even today, and maybe around 70%, 80% I have learned, which I am able to tell to other growers, and their success, okay, when they succeed, I get a lot of satisfaction. And still I am learning a lot. And with regard to my oyster mushrooms, so this is how my farm looks like. It's all purely indoor. And how many of you know about the basic cultivation of growing of oyster mushrooms in this forum? Yeah, fine, that's fine. So this is how we grow. We make beds, okay? We make beds. We call this each and every one as we call it as beds, oyster mushroom beds. And from that we get mushrooms like this. That's the second process. The first process is making beds, and the second process is we get mushrooms like this. And the final, once the mushrooms are plucked, it looks like this. The total sum, it looks like this. And I'll just touch about the process of growing oyster mushrooms. Then I will come to the major topic, the water management in oyster mushrooms. So the basic raw materials which we use is paddy straw, as it is available in abundant in Tamil Nadu. Basically, I am a grower from Coimbatore, which is very near to Amrita, maybe 25 kilometers from Amrita is my farm, okay? And the basic raw material which we use is paddy straw. We chop that straw, and what we do that is, before we are using chemicals to prepare the beds, to pasteurize the substrate, but what we are using now is hot water boiling method. We are changed into organic. We put the substrate in hot water boiling 60 to 80 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. And then once the substrate is ready, then we used to dry the extra water content in the straw. We use a dryer. The water comes out, and then it's ready for making beds like this. And this is the bed which we have made yesterday. See 15.3. This is the bed, model bed, a trial bed which we have made yesterday. This is the mix of paddy straw, and this is the seed. This is the spawn. This is the mushroom spawn which we use. We mix that, and we have provided holes. And in order to insects not to go inside, I have made a micro portal, which generally farmers doesn't do. Growers doesn't do that. Okay. This is the yesterday grown bed, and this is made on 13.3, 3 days old bed. You can see how the spawn grows on the. You can see the mycelium growth on the paddy straw. And what happens is on the 15th day, that this is one part. This is the first part. This need to be pakka. If this is pakka, then it will take at least 15 days time for the mycelium to grow like this. Entirely the mycelium grows like this, and 15 or 16 days time, the entire growth will be there. For example, this is a very old bed. This is prepared on 26/1. This is the second flesh which we are getting, 26/1. The entire mycelium grows like this on this bed in 15 days time. 15 days time, the bed becomes like this, pure white. So after that comes the second stage of getting the mushrooms. So what happens here is that given the proper condition, given the proper climatic condition inside the room, we get very good flush of mushrooms. So we divide the process into two. The first thing is bed preparation. Once the bed preparation gets over, for 15 days the spawn runs and the entire bed becomes white like this, okay? The mycelium growth is fully over, and after this we have to get the flesh of mushrooms, and the first 15 days what we need is 3 factors that has to be done inside the shed. Is major three factors which we generally do, which every farmer need to do is moisture level, maintenance of moisture level, the maintenance of temperature, and maintenance of optimum carbon dioxide level. These 3 things are more important. And what moisture level, for the first 15 days for the mycelium to grow, we don't need any moisture level at all. For the mycelium to grow for the first 15 days, we don't need any moisture level at all. And what is needed is a temperature between 25 to 28 degree. The temperature inside the shed should be 25 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. Automatically the mycelium will grow. So on carbon dioxide level also we need not worry. And what happens after 15 days? Once the mycelium is grown, we have put holes and the mushrooms wing comes like this. The mushroom pin starts comes like this, oyster mushroom pin start comes like this, and what happens this time is all the three things we need to give more important. The one thing is temperature, the same, 24 degree to 28 degree Celsius need to be maintained, and the humidity level should be 80%. The humidity level inside the shed should be 80%, and the carbon dioxide level need to be 400 ppm below 400 ppm. Sometimes in first place we reach up to 500 ppm, and you proper exhaust system we can bring that to 400. It should be 400 ppm or below 400 ppm. All these three need to be taken care. Once if it is taken care, this is how the mushrooms will come like. So it's properly taken care. Okay. So maybe 80% we have taken care properly. So this is how the mushroom comes like. This is how the fleshes comes like. So the mushrooms are taken and it's being packed in 200 grams pack. So this is what my produce is, one of my brand, #1 mushrooms. Yeah. This is what the shed looks like. This is how the shed looks like, and what I have done is, this is a closed, 100% closed shed, controlled with the cooler, air cooler. When air cooler is being used, and for exhaust we have got an exhaust fan. And again, such type of sheds I have got around 4 sheds. I got around 4 sheds. One model is this one, other model is this one. But generally, what farmers used to do is, they used to have this type of shed, a thatched roof shed. Mostly what is preferred for growing oyster mushrooms is a thatched roof shed. This coconut leaves are used, and otherwise even palm leaves that can be used, and sheds are made. This is how the farmers do. Yeah. So now coming to actual problem of water management in oyster mushrooms. And coming to the reality of oyster mushroom growing, what I have done, I have told you now. But now taking the entire scenario, I concentrate in the state of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. The reason behind that is I not only grow mushrooms, I grow spawn and I distribute that to various growers. In and around Tamil Nadu, major parts of Kerala and some parts of Karnataka. So what they do, right from for the past 20 years, if you see, I would have supplied spawn to 1,000 people. Around 1,000 growers I would have supplied spawn, but actually how many people I am supplying today is only 80. So what happened to the rest? 920, they are left. The reason behind that is they are not able to manage the conditions, internal conditions of the farm. And is there not a demand for oyster mushrooms? Yes, there is a hidden demand for oyster mushrooms. There is a very huge demand for oyster mushrooms in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. Why I am speaking about these 3 states is I know only about these 3 states. The demand in these 3 states. Maybe the same may apply for the other parts of India also. So what happens is all the 1,000 growers, okay, the 900 growers, they belong to various geographical locations. They have grown for some time, they have got some yield, and that they are marketed in their local area. And people are used to eat oyster mushrooms, but now they don't get oyster mushrooms in their area. So once someone comes, grows it profitably, runs it very well, runs it successfully, sure they can sell their produce. And the one major advantage of growing oyster mushroom produce compared to other agriculture produces, oyster mushrooms do have a fixed price in these 3 states. The minimum selling price for oyster mushrooms, what I do at Coimbatore is 180 rupees per kilo. But in Kerala, it is 300 rupees per kilo. So we have a fixed price. Rather than all other agriculture produce, the price fluctuations are more. It's price intensive. But where it's not so. The reason behind that is the supply doesn't match the demand. There's a huge gap between supply and demand. Now, why 900 people left, or what problems even I face today in water management? We can put it in 2 ways. Number 1 is the 3 factors what I told you is temperature maintenance, humidity, the carbon dioxide inside the shed, and water is closely related. Water management is closely related with temperature maintenance. Number 2 is humidity, maintaining the optimum humidity level, 80%. So what farmers used to do is, small scale farmers, what they used to do is they make sheds like this. They make sheds like this, and what they do is they put sacks on the, they put sacks on the all side parts, internal side parts, and the ground level will be just sand, and they just spray water on the sand, just spray water on the, using a 1-inch hose, using a small pump, they used to irrigate, they used to spray inside the room. And once the beds, mycelium grows like this, what happens is they start using spray water on the beds even. The reason behind that is to bring down the temperature to 24 to 28 degree. To maintain the temperature between 24 to 28 degree, they used to do this small scale farmers. Apart from that, what they do is, once they spray on the beds, this is the small scale farmers. Medium scale farmers, what they do is, inside the room, they put sacks around and they use sprinkler systems, butterfly sprinklers. They call that as foggers, but that's not actually foggers. They use butterfly sprinklers, and once we go inside, once we on the sprinkler, once we go inside, we will also become wet. That will be the amount of water distribution inside the room. So what happens that is, and again they use the hoses. They use drip irrigation hoses to wet the sacks, which has been hanged inside the sheds. And through that they try to maintain 80% humidity. They achieve initially for the 3 months or 4 months time they achieve, and during this summer season they won't achieve. When the temperature increases to 40 degrees Celsius, or it's more than 40 degrees Celsius, they doesn't achieve at all. A live example for that is, generally what I grow is 1,000 packs a day, and I'm able to grow the spawn, seed packets. The seed packet weighs around 350 grams, and my general average production is 1,000 packets a day growing is, and out of which 100 packets I take for my own use, for my own farm, 10%. Remaining 90% I used to distribute or sell to the people who grow oyster mushrooms. So what generally happens for me during the summer season is, I achieve that for entire 8 months period. But 4 months period, the selling of my spawn packets typically drops. 50% or more than 50% it drops. The reason behind that is, people are not able to maintain a optimum climate inside their room. So they leave it as such. 4 months period they leave it, and what they do is, after that, during the in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, during the month of June again they start. Now 50% no one will do, and during the month, right from starting from June month, they start doing it, because the monsoon starts by that time in Coimbatore area, Tamil Nadu and Kerala area. So during that time they start. So what happens? So this is what a medium scale grower do. What I am doing typically here in this sheds is, I am using RO water. I am using RO water, and that RO water is getting sprayed, fogged inside the room. I use minute foggers. And once we go inside, even after 15 minutes of fogging, even if we stand inside the sheds for 5 minutes, when the fogging is on, we never become wet. So that's the system I am using. And I feel even that is okay, that's comfortable, only to 80% level. In spite of that, during this season, what we do is, we too have sacks inside, we just wet the sacks, the grounds also, we wet the ground. With the sands also. Only then we will be able to get 70% or 80% during the 2 o'clock time. This time and all, the temperature level, I am sure it will be 29 to 30 degree, and the moisture content in my place will be around 70 only. I used to reach that only during 5 p.m. in the evening. So this is what I do in a medium scale farm. So now what the problem is, once the water, why 50% of people are not doing now at this time is, they are not able to manage. The water management is not done properly, underwatering. They are not able to cool their shed. They are not able to maintain the humidity and the temperature inside their shed. So for that they need a solution. And once they have the beds inside, even 60% humidity is maintained, they are able to maintain, the yield comes down considerably. See, this is once we have made this bed, this is of 1.5 kg weight. Once I make a bed, this is a 1.5 kg weight substrate, wherein I would have used around 500 grams to 600 grams of dry straw. The dry weight of the straw was 500 grams to 600 grams. The optimum yield I used to get is, I had one more mushrooms too. See, because of the non-moisture, this room has got a very good temperature, but not a good moisture level. The moisture level should be only 40% or 50% AC room. See what happened? It has become dry, it started drying. Could you able to see? The buds started drying. If I have kept this in my farm with optimum moisture level, it would have become bigger, and I would have got around 300 grams to 400 grams of mushrooms tomorrow morning. So see, this 500 grams of substrate I am using, once I get 300 grams to 350 grams of mushrooms tomorrow morning, okay, the first flush, that itself is a profitable one. I have reached my break even. Totally I can get only 500 to 550 grams. It's only 100% bioefficiency if I reach the dry substrate, that's a very good yield. And many farmers during this time, what happens is, they doesn't reach that. They reach only 50% bioefficiency or 40% bioefficiency. So in that case, it becomes a loss-making unit, and they do not know how to improve the temperature, how to decrease the temperature, improve the humidity level. So in that case, no other go, they leave the field and go. 3 months, 6 months, they do whatever. What propaganda the people make is oyster mushroom growing is the best one. You can become very rich by growing oyster mushrooms. You just start. Many people do like that, and without proper information, what happened? People start. Even to make a shed like this, it will cost around 80,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees today. They invest on that. And after 6 months time only they come to know that they are not able to grow it properly, and what all yield they have got, they have sold in that local area and they leave it and go. So this is what happens, underwatering. Other thing is the overwatering. So once we overwater, for example, once a hose is put, and if it is being, once they irrigate, okay, once they humidify the entire room using a hose, okay, 1 inch hose or a mic sprinkler butterfly sprinkler what happens is all these holes, okay, we have provided holes on the beds. So once lot of water is poured on this bed to increase the humidity level, sure they will achieve the required humidity level. But what happens is inside these holes the water goes inside. So once the lot of water content goes inside these holes, naturally what happens that water eats the mycelium. The bed deteriorates and it gets contaminated. See, we have overwatering. The thing is, the water goes inside, all these things. Plus, as ma'am told about nematodes, we have got a problem. We too have a problem in mushroom growing. Once they just have a sand on their floor, and the entire sand they used to stack water on the sand to increase the humidity level. So once that water is stacked, in 3 months time or 4 months time, we get small insects. An insect that gets developed from the sand, and you can see those insects going inside these holes. They just go inside these holes in the beds, which again eats the mycelium, again no yield. 2 flushes they won't get. So again this is overwatering, problem in overwatering. The second problem in overwatering is the yield considerably decreases. The third problem in overwatering is once the insects is there, once the insects comes inside the room, again that affects the newly beds which we have prepared like this. I too have insects, that's why I have put micropotate here. And the insect doesn't go, and I cannot recommend all the people to do this because it's a costlier affair. So I cannot recommend everyone to do this. So the insects goes inside, which contaminates the future beds. What all beds we are going to prepare in the future, that gets contaminated. So in that case, we are not in a position to run the farm at all. So what we need, what the oyster mushroom industry needs today, that's what I am representing. I am representing the entire oyster mushroom industry, the oyster mushroom growers of Tamil Nadu and Kerala or the nearby states, because this is a common problem which every one of us face. So what the oyster mushroom industry needs today is we need to maintain humidity 80%. We need to have a temperature of 24 to 28 degrees inside the shed. A carbon dioxide level of 400 ppm and below. And we need a solution for that, a right solution for that, which can be maintained all through the year, which the farmer can do. So what we expect from this forum, a solutions from this forum like is a right infrastructure. By passion I have made various infrastructure level. I do not know that's right or wrong. I am doing it, going on doing it. Okay. So a right infrastructure which will bring down the temperature, which will have an optimum temperature, and the right water management. The water should not be overwatering or underwatering, but 80% humidity should be there inside the room. 88 to 85% humidity should be there inside the room, and a right exhaust system to maintain a carbon dioxide system, to have a right level of carbon. And if it is done, if a model shed is done of that nature, and if succeeds, and I am ready to invest any lot on that. If it succeeds, and that will be eye opener for the entire oyster mushroom industry in India. So with these few thoughts, I leave it to you, and I want solutions from your people. And thanks for Amrita University. They have been to my farm 2 months back to my farm, and I discussed all this with them. What all I discussed with them that day, I am just speaking. And I told them, I am not an eminent speaker to come and deliver here. I do not want, it has taken a long time for me to deliver. It's a long time I have delivered, I have addressed to the people. And he told, whatever experiences you have got, you just speak. Both sirs came that day, and now what they have done is, as an initial part, they allotted 3 students from their university to have IoT and their right system, to implement a right system in our farm, and they have taken it up as a project. And thank you, university people, and thank you, delegates, for hearing me.
Long live India and France friendship.